Hello, my name is Pickles, and today I am going to tell you all why I declined starring in the movie known as Barney's Great Adventure. It is quite the swell and sexy story, so gather round and whip out your cocks in anticipation. I remember that day back in the late 90s when I heard the news. I was just wrapping up work in the Rugrats movie and getting ready for the next season of the show, not to mention I was at the peak of my career in the gay porno industry. I was jacking off at home when my fatass husband Barney the triple testicle dildosaur, who at the time was still my boyfriend and my favorite butt buddy, busted in the door, just as I busted a nut and said, Brew, I'm gonna star in a major motion picture. This is my big break. I was overjoyed and we started having a massive orgy to celebrate. And then the fat fuck let out a massive fart. The next day, we headed over to Hollywood to see if I could get a role in the movie as well, but ultimately the director, Steve Gomer, did not share my own artistic view of the movie. What did I want to do with the movie, you may ask? Well, calm the fuck down, I was just getting to that part. The first and most obvious change was the change of cast, particularly myself and the main kid characters. I would obviously play a big part in the movie, as myself and Barney's main fuck buddy, but the kids Cody, Abby, and Marcella would be played by my son Screw Pickles, whom we would bring out from the 7th level of hell to play the part, my bitchy daughter Angelica, and her friend Susie. The opening of the movie, which had the kids traveling to their grandparents' farm for the summer, would be eventually changed to having them taken to a swell town that has multiple strip clubs and sex shops that sell lots and lots of dildos. Also, that ridiculous song that you hear at the beginning of the movie would be replaced by my hit song Purple Penis Eater, which was about Barney. He is a three-testicled fat-ass purple penis eater. The scene of Abby and Marcella rubbing the Barney doll in Cody's face would have also been altered to have Angelica and Susie having the Barney doll up Screw's ass before Screw steals it to start doing swell things to it. Now, for those who have seen the movie may remember when that sexy purple fat bastard makes his swell debut in the film, where he materializes in the shower and surprises the kids. Well, this scene would have been heavily altered to have me and Barney engage in swell shower sex, and it would have sounded like on the golden shower. We're all wet and steamy, like we are fucking in the pubic family swamp. Put it in my ass. Now to assume the position. Get ready for the come bath. Bag, that was swell. Then Screw would pull down the curtain to see me fucking Barney, and we will all scream like However, Screw will get slightly turned in and join in the fun. There would have been an extended scene where Barney and I fucked even more in the shower, but that would have taken up twice the length of the film. Even more changes were made to the film, mainly the scene where Barney tells Cody about wishing on a shooting star, and Cody wishes for the best adventure of the summer, leading to a shooting star depositing an egg in the barn. This was originally gonna involve me and Barney talking about all the things we can use as dildos, and Screw would walk in on our conversation and get pissed off, because nobody is paying attention to him, and he wishes for something really gay to happen. Just then, a massive flaming penis falls from the sky and out comes a magical rainbow dildo. And this is where the film differs greatly from the final product, as it turns into a swell spiritual buddy adventure comedy with some gay porn too, where Barney and I try to get the magical dildo back from Screw, who stole it in a feat of jealousy. Also, Angelica and Susie would be written off as well. The scene where Barney and the kids try to recover the egg in a parade would have taken place during a gay pride parade, with lots of scathy-clad men in sexy and swell outfits, and Barney and I would be having such a swell time in the parade, pissing and shitting and fucking everything in sight, all while trying to catch Screw in the process. There would also be cameos from our favorite butt buddies in the parade, including Ronald the Goddamn Penis Clown McDonald, Dick the Clown, the Quaker Queer, Ned Flanders, Chaz the Fister Finster, and Howard the Dildo DeVille, wearing very revealing and sexy outfits. The scene of the kids and Barney entering a fancy restaurant and Barney singing All of the Raindrops would have been heavily altered too. Instead of fancy French restaurant, it would be a high-end strip club where Barney and I start pole dancing and singing the YMCA song. That would have been so very swell in the bum bum, if that made it in. Barney is quite nimble in the stripper pole for being a fat fuck. The scene of the characters flying to retrieve the egg would have been more action-packed. There would have been a scuffle, as Barney and I tried to retrieve the dildo from Screw, who is fighting to keep it for himself. I would have told him to give the dildo back right the fuck now, but being the pretentious prick that he is, Screw would not listen. Having no other choice, Barney extends his Jurassic cock and smacks Screw, causing him to fall down to his death, and with quick thinking, Barney shoves the dildo up his ass for safekeeping. And finally, when they get to the barn to see the egg hatch, instead of that fucking weird koala Care Bears knockoff, it would have been a swell little hybrid of myself and Barney, looking somewhat like our son Drew Pickles Jr. And, to wrap up this deep, emotional, and sexy adventure, we would all gather round with all our fuck buddies and begin fucking each other in the biggest, swellest orgy ever, while Barney's I Love You song plays in the background, and it would have sounded like I fuck you, you fuck me, let's all partake in this day orgy with a great big fuck, and a 69 from me to you, drink my cum and eat my food. That was originally going to be the original song. The greatest porno ever. This video was made to celebrate the 15th anniversary of the Barney Bunch. Holy shit, not only did we break the fourth wall, but we caused a time paradox. Shoving the pieces of the fourth wall up Chaz Finster's ass. Barney's gay adventure. Let's not drench all our come over Barney. Egg, that was swell. Now stop the fucking music. Oh, that would have been the greatest thing ever. It definitely would rank up there with some of my best pornos. And Barney was totally on board with this version of the film. However, Steve Ballmer was completely appalled and disgusted with my take in the film, and I remember him saying, "What the fuck kind of film is that? This is supposed to be a family-friendly feature, not a raunchy gay porno." I said, "Well, if you don't recognize the cinematic masterpiece of art that I present to you, then I guess I won't be in this film. Fuck you." And there I left, despite Barney's pleas for me to stay. It wasn't a good day for any of us. I was pissed off, because that bitch Ballmer did not recognize my talents. Barney was upset, because I wouldn't be co-starring in the film with him. And Screw was incredibly pissed off, because he was written as the villain and not the hero, further harboring his grudge against me before sending him back to the 7th level of hell. But despite the movie not being as successful critically and financially, for my fatass husband's first non-gay porn feature, it was quite swell. I bet the critics would be singing songs of praise at my take in the film. And that about wraps up my story, for you all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must go fuck Barney in the ass for the 69th time today. Until the next video is released, I am your anal avenger Drew Pickles, saying Jimmy Hook is the king of the autistic man-children. See you later my sexually stimulating studs, and happy 15th anniversary to the Barney Bunch. Here's to another 15 more.